Hello everyone, I hope you all are good, doing well. So today we are here again with one of the most important theme in terms of our examination. The theme is earthquake. Yesterday only the very high magnitude earthquake has hit the Tibetan region, so I decided to cover this topic, and I picked this topic from the Hindu newspaper 8th of Jan 2025. This lecture is being presented by me. My name is Shama. So time and again I always emphasize you to connect your fodder or connect your study material with your UPSC syllabus or with your competitive examination syllabus, be it UPSC and mains, and connect that topic with your previous year question themes also. So if I connect this earthquake topic in prelims examination, you can see its relevance in geography as well as environment syllabus. In terms of mains, you can connect this theme with GS paper 1, GS paper 3, and as well as you can use the case study in ethics paper, and in essay paper also you can see its relevance. In order to complete your geography syllabus, you can refer the NCERT book of class 11th and 12th. There are 4 books which has covered holistically, and UPSC time and again has asked question from this book itself directly or indirectly. In order to prepare the best fodder for the disaster management, I request you to look after the ARC report. So this was the theme which was covered in today's newspaper of the Hindu. So let's see what is earthquake. In a layman language, if I define earthquake, that is the shaking of earth's surface. And why this shaking of earth's surface take place? Due to the sudden release of energy from the lithosphere. So whenever we feel, or whenever we encounter earthquake, we see there is a certain shaking of earth's surface, and we all can feel that shaking. That is said to be earthquake. And I have given the definition, you might can read here. The two concept here, that is focus or hypocenter and the epicenter. The question has been asked directly in PCS and UPSC prelims examination. What is hypocenter or what is epicenter? So the origin point of earthquake below the earth surface, that is focus, and the surface location directly above the focus is termed as epicenter. This is the picture through which you can see the focus which is below the surface and the epicenter directly above the focus region. The next subtopic which we are going to cover, that is the cause of earthquake, and there are two causes, that is natural and man-made cause, that is anthropogenic cause we can term. Natural cause we can further subdivide into tectonic movement, like there are 7 major plates on the earth surface and their movement is what somehow has connection with the earthquake. When they converge, when they diverge, when they transverse, so they create a certain kind of an impact, or they resulted into the earthquake. Next is a volcanic activity. Eruption of magma can also trigger the earthquake around the volcanic region. The another is a landslide. Collapse of large landmass can create a situation like earthquake, and we can see this, like we have seen this kind of earthquake in Uttarakhand region. If I talk about the human induced causes, that is mining, reservoir induced seismic activity, that like large water body which we are creating for the hydrological resources, so that has also created a concern, like whether that is going to result into the earthquake or not. And the example would be China, which is developing one of the largest water bodies for hydrological purpose. And the next is nuclear explosion. So these are the causes which you can use while writing your answer. The another important subtopic related to earthquake is seismic wave. So there are two waves, body wave and surface wave. If I talk about body wave, you can further subdivide into P wave and S wave. And if I talk about the surface wave, you can divide into L wave and R wave. The question has been asked related to P and S wave. In the year 2023 itself, if you guys have gone through the UPSC previous year question paper, the question was related to the direction of P wave and direction of S wave. So in short, I have written the some important key term here related to P wave. So P wave is the fastest seismic wave that travel through the solid, liquid and gaseous state. And if I talk about the P wave, it is just like the sound wave. It has its characteristic related to the longitudinal wave, and the direction of this wave is parallel to the direction of wave. The second is secondary wave, that is slow, the movement of this wave is slower than the P wave, and it travels only through the solid phase. Apart from that, it behaves like a light wave, and the direction of this wave is perpendicular to the direction of wave. Another subtopic is surface wave. So the surface wave has two parts, L wave and R part. The next important subtopic in earthquake is shadow zone of P and S wave. So what is shadow zone? Let me define. The shadow zone are the location on the earth surface where seismograph is an instrument which calculate the seismic activity. So the region on the earth surface where seismograph cannot detect the seismic wave, so that region is termed as the shadow zone. So here you can see the two shadow zone of P wave and shadow zone of S wave. The question has been asked which wave has larger shadow zone. So you can see the S wave has larger shadow zone in comparison to P wave. So why S wave has larger shadow zone than the P wave? Because S wave can travel only into the solid state, but when it comes to the P wave, it can travel into the solid, liquid and gaseous state. The next, here I just given the pictorial representation about the core, mantle and crust. You can look after. The next subtopic which is important related to earthquake is seismic discontinuity. The question has been asked directly in the prelims examination. Which body has which discontinuity lies between which two region, like Conrad, that is between the upper and lower crust; Moho discontinuity, that is between the lower crust and upper mantle; Rapti discontinuity, that is between the upper and lower mantle; Gutenberg discontinuity, that is between outer and lower mantle and outer core; Lehmann discontinuity, that is between outer and inner core. You guys can have some mnemonic or you just memorize it, because the question has been asked and there is a possibility that the question can be asked in future also from this kind of a topic. Next we can see the type of earthquake. The type of earthquake can be further subdivided based on the cause and based on the depth. So we have seen already this causes: tectonic, volcanic, collapse and explosion, that is nuclear testing and all. So let's focus on the type of earthquake based on the depth. So we can further subdivide into a three part. One is the shallow focus. If the focus of earthquake is less than 70 kilometer, then that would be a kind of a shallow earthquake we can term, and it would be the most destructive one. The next is intermediate. The focus would be focus that is between the 70 to 300 kilometer, and the deep focus that is more than 300 kilometer. This is the world picture, or I could say the epicenter of earthquake, which I have given you here. So you guys can make a notes and you can use in your mains answer writing. Especially you can see the the maximum earthquake region in this region, that is the Pacific Ring of Fire. We can see the maximum occurrence of earthquake. The next subtopic which we are going to see, the plate tectonic and earth movement. So I have already said there are three type of a movement of plates, that is convergent, divergent and transform. Suppose the two plate is coming together and they converge with each other, so they are going to create a certain kind of a disturbance in this region where they are colliding, and that can create an earthquake like a situation. Another is a divergent. Is suppose the two plates are diverging, they are moving away from each other, that can also create a kind of a oceanic new crust. The new crust would be created because of the divergent of the plate and like oceanic ridge. The third is transform, where the two plate cross each other horizontally and they do not collide, they do not diverge, they just cross each other. Next, here I have given again the picture, the major plate of earth and the minor plate I have given. And the question has been asked in UPSC related to Nazca plate, where it lies related to South American plate. So you guys can memorize the 7 major plate and few important minor plate like this one. And another which you can see here, the Indo-Australian plate and Eurasian plate, which create a kind of earthquake or the situation of earthquake in the Tibetan region or in the Himalayan region. Time and again we have seen the occurrence of earthquake in the Himalayan region, and this is one of the reason why we see the earthquake in this region, that is because of the movement of plate collision. I could say the both plate collide with each other and create earthquake like situation. The next topic which is important, that the question has been asked also from this topic, that is the measurement instrument which we use in order to measure earthquake or seismic wave. One is the Richter scale, and you just need to focus on 2-3 terms, that is the focus, like the factor would be 0 to 10, and the Mercalli intensity scale, where we measure the destruction caused by the earthquake, and it is a linear scale, and the number is 1 to 12. So the question has been asked from both the scale. If I talk about the instrument, I already mentioned this. Seismograph is the instrument which measure the wave patterns. Impact of earthquake, that would be primary impact, secondary impact, and tertiary effect. It is not something which you guys don't know, so you guys can just refer this material, nothing much to explain here. So major earthquake in India, let's focus our earthquake topic specific to India region. So till now we have seen in the world, now we are focusing to the India region. So in the year 2001, one of the biggest or one of the most devastating earthquake we have encountered in Gujarat, and the magnitude was 7.7, and we have seen what what kind of a situation it has created. And in the year 2015, we have seen the Nepal region earthquake, and in another example I have given the most important topic, like for the mains and for the UPSC prelims also, we have seen state PCS has been asked, that is the seismic zone in India. So the whole India has been divided into the seismic zone, and you can see the seismic zone of India, that there is no region in India which come under the first zone. So we have 4 zone in India, has been divided into 4 zone. Seismic zone 2, that is the low risk, the central India. The third region, the moderate risk, the region here I have mentioned, the example, like the state I have mentioned here, you can go through. The zone 4, high risk, that is Delhi, Bihar, UP, West Bengal. And the seismic zone, if I talk about the 5, that is very high risk, that is the northeastern state, Uttarakhand region, Himachal region, Jammu Kashmir region, the region which has a direct connection or related, that is close to the Indo-Australian plate and Eurasian plate. The region close to that region has been the one of the most seismic activity zone in India. So here I have tried to cover some, like, what all mitigation activity which we can take if suppose earthquake is happening. Like we have already mapped the whole earthquake region on the earth surface. So what we can do, there are three phases through which we can prepare the mitigation strategy. One would be the, like, we know already the region where there is a high possibility of earthquake, so we can create a kind of a structural change over there. Like whenever we are constructing any building, we can look after the building should have the capacity to tackle some certain level of seismic activity, and we should look after that. The early warning system should be there, the public awareness should be spread in that region. The people should be aware if earthquake kind of a situation is happening in the seismic zone, high seismic activity zone area, they should be aware what all measure they need to take. So this is how you have to prepare the mitigation step. So this is the first phase, where that would be the pre happening of any major disaster. Then the in between, during suppose the earthquake has happened, so what all major step we can take, like the government should provide the basic necessity, food and water supply to that region. There should be connectivity, should not be disturbed, the electricity should be provided to that region. And the third phase would be the post disaster. So what all we can see the people are rehabilitated or not, we can see the kind of impact it has created on the mind of people. They should be given free service, or they should be given the free consultant to the doctor in order to look after their mental health. And we should look after the like those people who has lost their family and the kind of infrastructure loss they have gone through. So the government can take certain initiative and provide some kind of a mitigation, or provide some kind of a scheme through which they can lower their pain or minimize the pain. The role of government and international organization. So this you can use in your mains answer writing, especially the Sendai framework, which has created international goal in order to tackle the disaster risk and UN office. We have that coordinates of global disaster management effort. In terms of India, we have NDMA guidelines and BIS code, the construction safety of the building. Here I have provided you certain PYQ which you can go through, and in the year 2021, in the year 2028, the question has been asked in the mains, which you can refer. And one more thing, I would refer you, like, you should go through the prelims previous year question paper of geography section, and in geography section you can go through the subsection of earthquake, where you will find the question which I was referring you in the above videos. So if I talk about the conclusion, the most important thing, or the most important point which I would like to refer you, this point: preparedness is the only way we can combat the unpredictable nature of earthquakes. So what is most important thing? Like, we know it is going to happen. If we are living near the region where it is into the seismic zone of 5, so we know there is a possibility of earthquake and high possibility of earthquake. So what all measure we can take? We can infrastructure, we can create a robust infrastructure which can sustain a minor earthquake. We can create awareness, we can create alarm, we can create a region where people can be mitigated, or where people can be rehabilitated during the earthquake or after earthquake has happened. So this is one of the best line which you can use in your mains answer writing as a conclusion. So I think that's all from my side. I hope I would have given certain point which might have enriched your knowledge. Thank you. See you soon.